Divyaha, denizens of higher planets. Stuvanti, do pray. Muneyaha, great sages. Yat, thereupon. Upari, up. Udasta, down. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation, please hear. Being insulted by sharp words spoken by the co-wife of the king, even in his presence, Prince Dhruva, though only a boy, took to severe penances in the forest. And the Lord, being satisfied by his prayer, awarded him the Dhruva planet, which is worshipped by great sages, both upward and downward. Purport, please hear. When he was only 5 years old, Prince Dhruva, a great devotee and the son of Maharaj Uttanapada, was sitting on the lap of his father. His stepmother did not like the king's patting his stepson, so she dragged him out, saying that he could not claim to sit on the lap of the king because he was not born out of her womb. The little boy felt insulted by this act of his stepmother, nor did his father make any protest, for he was too attached to his second wife. After this incident, Prince Dhruva went to his own mother and complained. His real mother also could not take any step against this insulting behavior, and so she wept. The boy inquired from his mother how he could sit on the royal throne of his father, and the poor queen replied that only the Lord could help him. The boy inquired where the Lord could be seen, and the queen replied that it is said that the Lord is sometimes seen by great sages in the dense forest. The child prince decided to go into the forest to perform severe penances in order to achieve his objective. Prince Dhruva performed a stringent type of penance under the instruction of his spiritual master, Sri Narad Muni, who was specifically deputed for this purpose by the personality of Godhead. Prince Dhruva was initiated by Narada into chanting the hymn composed of 18 letters, namely Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and Lord Vasudev incarnated himself as Prishnigarbha, the personality of Godhead, with 4 hands, and awarded the prince a specific planet above the 7 stars. Prince Dhruva, after achieving success in his undertakings, saw the Lord face to face, and he was satisfied that all his needs were fulfilled. The planet awarded to Prince Dhruva Maharaj is a fixed Vaikuntha planet, installed in the material atmosphere by the will of the Supreme Lord Vasudeva. This planet, although within the material world, will not be annihilated at the time of devastation, but will remain fixed in its place. And because it is a Vaikuntha planet, never to be annihilated, it is worshipped even by the denizens of the 7 stars situated below the Dhruva planet, as well as by the planets which are even above the Dhruva planet. Maharishi Bhrigu's planet is situated above the Dhruva planet. So the Lord incarnated himself as Prishnigarbha just to satisfy a pure devotee of the Lord. And Prince Dhruva achieved this perfection simply by chanting the hymn mentioned above, after being initiated by another pure devotee, Narada. A serious personality can thus achieve the highest perfection of meeting the Lord and attain this objective simply by being guided by a pure devotee who automatically approaches by dint of one's serious determination to meet the Lord by all means. The description of Prince Dhruva's activities can be read in detail in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagna Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Guna Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarobhyasha Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavalebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhuter Matpir Yahima Puro Vibhu Nirmaya Shaite Yadamurshu Purusha Vungte Gunansho Dashasho Dashatmaka Sholam Krishishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Katha Amritam Satata Pibatam Bhakti Vedanta Marga Panthanam Sarvaloka Rishi Deva Janna Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishi Deva Janna Prasannam. Hare Krishna. So today the verse that we have is the pastime of Dhruv Maharaj. So this verse is a good example of the power of Harinam and association of pure devotees. Specifically, in terms of Harinam, the potency that the name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead possesses. The basic overview of the pastime is already given in the purport, but today I'll be going a bit deeper in this pastime in terms of some specific things. So firstly, how can we ourselves in this life get inspired by Dhruv Maharaj to progress further in our sadhana and also to take necessary steps so that we can concentrate our mind on the Supreme Lord. So I'll start off with a story. So Dhruv Maharaj, so as you know, he wanted a kingdom that was greater than his great-grandfather's kingdom. And he wanted to have this kingdom because he was offended by some words of his stepmother. So I think it was Bhakti Charu Maharaj who used to give this example. He used to say there was once a beggar and he went to a family in a village and he used to say to the person sitting there's a person at the door, and he used to say, "Oh, you're the most beautiful person in this whole village." And the person was like, would call to his wife and say, "Bring a gold chain out." So the beggar's like, "Oh, okay, this is good. I get a gold chain for impressing this person." So then he says, "Oh, your garden is the most beautiful garden in the whole world." So this person says to his wife again, "Can you bring out some gold plates?" So this beggar's like, "Today's the day. I'm going to get everything I ever wanted." So then the beggar says, "You are the most glowing person in the whole land." And then the person says, "Okay, bring the money from inside." He tells his wife. So the beggar is like, "Okay, that's enough for today. I'm not going to get too greedy. I'll just stay here." So the beggar waited and waited. The wife never came out. So the person the beggar asked the person, he's like, "What happened to the gold bars, the gold chain, all the money? Where's your wife?" And the person said, "Like you said all those things to impress me, I said all those things to impress you." So in that same way, that's the power of words. We see Dhruv Maharaj is born in a kingdom, and just from a few words that his stepmother said to him, he suddenly wants a kingdom greater than his own father. Dhruv Maharaj wasn't really unimpressed, or he wasn't upset that his stepmother said that to him. He was more disturbed by the fact that his father didn't do anything about it. He was just sitting there. So that's why he wanted a kingdom that was greater than his great-grandfather. So it is said that Dhruv Maharaj, he did real tapasya in that we know that he met Bhagwan in 6 months. So it is said that for the first month, Dhruv Maharaj was, he only ate fruits, berries, and that was on every third day. So we look at ourselves, I don't think any of us can live on just fruits. It's possible for the human body, but our own mind cannot live with the fact that, oh, okay, I'm only going to live on fruits. So he only did that. He only ate fruits every third day just to keep his body and soul together. So it is said in the purport of this verse, which is in 4th canto, I think it's chapter 8, verse number 55, I think. And it is said that he would accept this flower, which is called kapita. And this flower isn't generally accepted by humans. It is eaten by monkeys. And Dhruv Maharaj would eat these, not because to satisfy his body or like for feasting. He would eat these just so that his body and soul would stay in place so they can concentrate more on the Lord. Secondly, he would, it is said that the body needs food, but a devotee should not accept food to satisfy his body. He should rather eat food so that his body is replenished enough so that he can worship the Lord more. So in Nectar of Instruction, first verse, it says, Vacho Vegam Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jivva Vegam Udar Pastha Vegam. So it is said that one should accept as much food as necessary to keep the body fit, but one should not eat for luxury. So in this verse it says Udaro, which means belly, and then it says Vegam, which means urges. So the urges of the belly. It is said that as humans, it's our tendency to eat, but if you look at in this Kali Yuga, we eat more than we need. Let's say we go back a few days to Janmashtami, we say 56 bhog food. That's for Bhagwan to enjoy. It's not for us to enjoy. We should only have as much as our body requires for to worship the Lord more. It's good that we have all this food, but it's for the worship of the Lord. We should only consume as much as we need, not as much as we want. There's a huge difference between these two words. It is said that one who can control the belly by just eating stuff that is offered to the Lord is a devotee, which is called, they eat prasadam, which is offered. Otherwise, we eat all this nonsense throughout the day that our body, the purity is removed. We say, people, they say that I'm only vegetarian on a few days of the week. That doesn't mean you're vegetarian. That just means that you're scared that if I'm not vegetarian on these days, something will happen to me. The fact is that they're not able to control their senses as much as, let's say, normal devotees. Normal devotees, we don't eat onion and garlic. We don't eat meat. That's how the mental capacity we need to become a devotee. People these days can't live without things for one day. We say people during Ekadashi, we see even like some devotees, it's one day out of 2 days in a month that we do Ekadashi. And yet when we hear the word Ekadashi, half the people in the room are like, fasting, oh no, I can only eat some things during the day. You still get to eat some things during the day, and it's only for one day. We have a whole life to eat every single day, and that one day, our face changes. We're like, oh, I can't eat this, I can't eat this. It's 24 hours, it's literally nothing. In the second month, we'll go back to Dhruv Maharaj. In the second month, Dhruv Maharaj, he only ate every 6 days, and the thing he took dry grass and leaves. And in the third month, he only drank water every 9 days. We go back to Janmashtami. Nirjala Ekadashi, Nirjala fasting that day. People, one day can change everything. We see people during Nirjala, no one wants to fast. It's one day, like it's only for the pleasure of the Lordship. It's not, people, they fast that to show other people that, oh, I'm fasting. I'm doing Nirjala. I'm not drinking water this whole day. It's not for them. It's for you, so that you yourself can become pure. I've seen last year. I remember for the first time I did Nirjala last year, because before that I didn't know about it. So last year when I did Nirjala, the whole day I was just thinking, that's the day where you're the most hungry. Every single day, it doesn't matter if you haven't eaten all day, but you have the option that you can go eat. But on Nirjala day, you're like, oh, I need food, I need water. But it's just your mind playing tricks on you that, oh, you need food and water. You don't actually need that food and water. You see, on Nirjala day, when it hits 12 o'clock, everyone's just like, okay, let's quickly eat. But the fact is that you don't need that food still. You see, Dhruv Maharaj, he would eat every 6 days, and he would drink water every 9 days in the third month. Okay, let's say we eat, but like water is so important for us. One day after not drinking water, everyone was like on the verge of death. Oh, I need water, I can't survive. But the fact is, it's just our mind playing tricks on us. Our mind is so powerful in that way that we don't know any of our capabilities that our body can do. I'll further on explain this later. This is a very nice verse, which I'll do later. So we'll go back to Dhruv Maharaj. He said in the 4th month, Dhruv Maharaj became a master of breathing exercises, and thus he inhaled air every 12th day. So we look at us for 2-3 minutes max. We can hold our breath. But after that, we need that to survive. But the fact is, it's still our brain. We, in this Kali Yuga, our bodies are so underdeveloped as to what they were in the past. Like, you see in the past people living for 1,000 years. You see the past times, they used to go on for so many years. I was listening to Lal Govind Prabhuji going through the Gajendra prayers. Gajendra and the crocodile, they fought for 1,000 years. We live for 100 years, and they fought for 1,000 years. So if we think of it like that, like at that time, it was just different. Everything was different because people had control of their minds. Nowadays, we can't even control our minds to fixate on one thing for 5 minutes. We say, oh, we should chant. A lot of people I've seen when people come to programs, like new people, and you tell them, oh, just chant 1 round. And their faces are like, what is this? Like, I don't have, it's almost as if they don't have 7 minutes in the whole day just to remember the Lord. They're like, oh, I'm very busy, I have work, I have this, I have that. That's their mind again. Our mind is so impatient. It's so it's so annoying in a way that it's not letting us do so many things that we want to do. So it is said that in the 5th month, we'll go back to Dhruv Maharaj again, that in the 5th month, Dhruv Maharaj had controlled his breathing so perfectly that he could stand on one leg without motion and concentrate his mind fully on the Parabrahma. So it is said that we should always remember that to become a bona fide devotee of the Lord, it's not easy. You see, in that age, in that time, that was what they needed to do, that stand on one leg. That's their tapasya, that's their yagna that they used to do at the time. But in our case, through the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we have this, he's made it so easy. We don't have to go after we turn 50, we don't have to go to the forest, stand on one leg for 60 years and do that yagna. The fact is that we've been given this easy, this just 2 words, Sankirtan Yagna. That's it. Just chanting. It's so easy. Literally, you sit in one spot, concentrate on the Lord, close your eyes. After you finish your chanting, after you finish all your sadhana, your body feels replenished, not just your mind. Every part of your body feels replenished. So it is said that it is said in this purport that I've written, it is said that as far as the ISKCON movement is concerned, we simply have to observe the 4 regulative principles, chant 16 rounds, and instead of indulging in luxurious eating, we simply have to accept prasada. That's it. We don't have to stand on one leg for 60 years or for 1,000 years. We don't have to go into the woods we don't have to do not talk for 100 years. We don't have to do any of that. It's all been condensed into one small thing by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is Sankirtan Yagna. In Bhagavatam it is said, Evam kayena manasa vachasa cha manogatam parikara mano bhagwan bhakti mad paricharaya pumsam amayanam samyag bhajatam bhava vardhanaha shreyo dishanti abhimattam yad dharma dishu dehinam. Anyone who engages in devotional service of the Lord seriously and sincerely, two very important S's, seriously and sincerely. That doesn't mean in the middle of your chanting you turn the TV on and start watching TV, but you're still going Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That's not sincere, that's not serious. That's just time pass. That I'm sitting, I have nothing better to do, okay, let's just chant. That's not good. If it is said in the 10 rules that we shouldn't do, one is not to chant inattentively. So that's one of the major things that we shouldn't be doing. In this translation, it also says, seriously, sincerely, with his mind, words, and body, and who is fixed in the activities of the prescribed devotional methods, is blessed by the Lord according to his desire. If a devotee's desires material religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification or liberation from the material world, he is awarded these results. So in this translation is written very sarcastically. They are rewarded these results. Economic development, like after chanting, after being self-realized, why would someone want to have economic development or want to get sense gratification? Even liberation. It is said liberation is the lowest thing that we should aim for. Once we've chanted, it is said we are officially liberated. But then we're still stuck in between earth and Vaikuntha, Golok Vrindavan. We're still stuck in between that. If you want to go the full way, why would we just go halfway or like a quarter way, just get liberated from this world? No, we should aim higher. We should aim for Krishna Prem so that we don't have to suffer ever again. Because it is said that even the demigods, they all have limited lives. Even they still come to earth to engage in devotional service so that they can go back to Vaikuntha. So we should aim for the higher goal, not the lower one. For economic development, it is said that Sukadeva Goswami says that money does not stay in one place; it passes from one hand to another. Ultimately, no one can enjoy money, and it remains the property of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5. It is said that money is God's energy. He creates it, He owns it, He controls it. And also in Isha Upanishad, it says that everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. We look at money, for example. What are you going to do if you have $1 billion? Most people, they're not going to help the world. They're not going to help other people. What they're going to do is try to work on themselves, sense gratification. Buy this car, buy that car, buy this house, buy this boat, buy this mansion, buy this whole building. But at the end of the day, you're still a human. It's not like after buying a building, you go straight to Golok Vrindavan if you have a lot of money. That's not how it works. At the end, like it says, the money after you die, it's going to go back to someone else. It doesn't go with you back. You don't carry big pockets full of money all the way back to Godhead or like to hell or to heaven. That's not how it works. So it is said that Krishna determines how much money each of us makes or receives. It may appear accidental that one person is born into wealth and another into poverty. But the fact is that one person goes from rags to riches and another doesn't. But this is Krishna's law of karma. It is said that, Srila Prabhupada says that everyone is thinking, if I become greedy, I shall get more. That is not true. Because you only get as much as you are destined. It is said that you cannot get a penny more than you are destined. It is not possible that simply by endeavors to accumulate more money, a person will be able to do so. It is what is written in their destiny, what Krishna wants to give you. It is said that in reality, everyone is earning and acquiring according to his predestined karma. That's in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3 as well. It is said that, after that, in this same purport, it said that Actually, no, we've passed that. So next one is sense gratification. Why would one want to do austerity and then in response want his senses to be gratified? Why would one chant and do that? So once, I think Gauranga Prabhuji was telling a story. He said that if I'm watching TV, one person had an example. One person was watching TV, is very happy, everything's going perfectly normal. And then a cobra comes. It's just sitting next to the TV and it's just watching you. How would you feel? Would you be happy and that, okay, I'm watching TV, everything's fine, everything's perfect? No, you would be like waiting that, when is he going to attack me? Or like, what should I do to get saved? In that way, it is said that he gives the example that this is us. We're trying to enjoy, but that cobra is always over our head. Dukhalayam ashashratam. It is said that every time we do something in this material world, there's always going to be a reaction, and it's mostly it's negative unless it's in the service of the Lord. Thus we should chant the holy names so that our propensity to desire for sense gratification is just eased or removed. It's like removed from the root, otherwise the root grows back. So in this way, we not only serve Krishna, but which is greater than that, we serve the devotees of the Lord through, let's say, economic development. If we have a lot of money, don't use it for your own sense gratification, rather use it for other people, so that everyone can congregate together. It is said that Dhruva vacha yonatha pravisha mama vacham imam paruspatam. Dhruva Maharaj said that Dhruva Maharaj could understand very easily that the difference between the condition before and after attaining spiritual realization and seeing the personality of Godhead face to face, he could understand that his life and other parts of his activities had been sleeping. Unless one comes to the spiritual platform, his bodily limbs, mind, and other facilities within the body are understood to be sleeping. Like I said before, our bodies are sleeping unless we're engaging ourselves all the time. Every part of our body, our mind is the biggest one. It's always sleeping. But the thing is, it's making us sleep in our daily activities as well. Everything that we do is affected by our mind in some way. When we come to Krishna consciousness, or we try to engage in sadhana by chanting and stuff, our body releases its tensions or worries of this material world and just concentrates fully on the Lord and Himself. So Maharaj Dhruv, after attaining Krishna, he's like when Krishna came, because when he held his breath after the 6th month, and when he held his breath, it is said that he removed all the air from the earth itself. So Krishna had no choice but to come. So we see some people, like Dhruva Maharaj, took him 6 months to get Krishna. Some people, it took 50,000 years of tapasya. And then I forgot this guru's name, but he had 50,000 years of tapasya. But because he wasn't fully concentrating on Krishna, after finishing 50,000 years of tapasya, he came out and wanted to enjoy, so he married 50 women at once for sense gratification after his tapasya. So that's the stages. We see 6 months of fully dedicated devotional service, and then we have 50,000 years of undedicated, here and there devotional service. It is said, Dhruva Maharaj said, I had been searching out of some pieces of broken glass, but instead I have found the most valuable jewel. Therefore I am fully satisfied. I do not wish to ask anything from you yourself, only yourself. So it is said that, we're running out of time, but in Canto 4, it is said that after Dhruva Maharaj said this broken glass word, it is said that he said, it is our duty to remember always that in comparison to Dhruva Maharaj, we are insignificant. We cannot do anything like Dhruva Maharaj did for his self-realization, because we are incompetent to execute such service. But because of Lord Chaitanya, we have these, we're like the older people, we have concessions. You do this, you have to pay less, which is the less than the full tapasya that we had to do. before. So it is said, it is our duty to follow in the footsteps of Dhruv Maharaj, for he is very determined. We should also be determined to finish our duties in executing devotional service. We should not wait for another life to finish our job. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki, Shri Bhagavatam ki, the Gaur Brahmananda Haribo.